Hello, welcome to Totally Cosmic.
The Down to Earth Astrology Show.
I'm Sanjay.
I'm Sinks, and we're your hosts and in-house astrologers for Naya TV.
On today's show, we take a look at the Chinese astrology predictions for this year going into 2022. And we've got the cosmic news and weather.
So first, let's take a look at the Chinese astrology.
So I've got this book here on Taoist astrology by Susan Levitt with John Tang. And we're going to read this now, just to see if it's going to bring any clarity for how to get through this year.
Yeah, the ox year, which is this year, 2021, correlates with the western sign of Capricorn. And the key words are steadiness, perseverance, and determination.
Says the year of the ox is a time for hard work. Like ox ploughing through the field, we must toil during this year. Success is attained through diligent work and conscientious effort. Begin by putting your affairs in order, especially your home. Stick to routine, tried and true methods and conservative actions. Wild new concepts may not be well received. Save them for the following tiger year.
Yeah, the ox year is not a time for laziness. Those who don't work won't eat. But if we refrain from rebelling, follow the rules, and try to obey the authorities, there will be a bountiful harvest. Expect conservative politics, though. What's your thoughts on this?
Well, I think it's safe to say that we're seeing conservative politics at the minute in this year. It's interesting it's saying to avoid rebelliousness, because there's definitely a big part of me and definitely a big part of I'm seeing in a lot of people now that want to rebel in this year. So it seems like, if we stick to working on ourselves, then in the following year we can, in the tiger year, we can pounce with some rebellion potentially. What's your thoughts?
Well, I can see a possibility for that in a way. I mean, like, I have a little familiarity with the Chinese signs, but maybe not how the mechanics really work, but through the personalities of our families and friends, we've been around many of these signs all of our lives, and the years gone by that I've taken note of, I'm thinking about how Western astrology connects.
Yeah.
There is definitely an element of rebellion in this year, as you say, with so much Aquarius energy. Yeah. But next year, and even this year, Jupiter's going to Pisces, so maybe it does get a little bit lawless. Maybe it is the tiger year.
There you go.
So yeah, I can see this. I can see something behind that, definitely.
And it's interesting the way it says, get your homes in order, because we've been spending a lot of time in our houses, and I think a lot of people have been throwing out old things and having a real sort out. So, as they say, tidy house, tidy mind.
I can definitely vouch for that. And I can also say that it's also, it's never too late where that's concerned. Many people will be thinking, oh, we've been at home for quite a while and everyone's done this and done a great deal. But no, if it's your time to get started now at this point to make new initiatives happen, for that to be living in a better place and a better mind frame, then 2021 might be the year for you to really turn it around.
There you go. Hello! Earthlings! Welcome to your cosmic news and forecast. I'm Cynthia Starburst, and these are the headlines. The fiery energy of the Aries new moon on the 11th of April kicked off the easing of restrictions here in the UK, giving people the much needed boost and a chance to view the world with fresh eyes. Mars, the warrior planet, moved into the homely sign of Cancer yesterday, placing a focus on protecting our families. Mars can be unconscious and irrational during this sign, so it's important that any decisions made regarding our families are done so with thought and care. During April, the increase of energy and photonic light particles juicing up our Earth were picked up on by psychics, scientists, and Joe blogs alike. Whoosh! things are getting interesting. Now it's over to Supernora for a look at the cosmic forecast in your part of the universe.
So, kicking off May, on the 3rd, the trickster planet Mercury goes direct into his home sign of Gemini. Now, Gemini is an air sign and can cause us to be somewhat emotionally detached, whilst being extremely sociable. Our Mercury is all about ideas, chatting, having lots of little trips out here and there, learning and feeding one's curiosity. During this time, the urge to share one's ideas with others is strong, and as us here in the UK are starting to mingle a bit more around this time, we can expect to have some great good powwows. One of the most lovely aspects of this air sign, which could be very useful now, is that air signs get to appreciate anyone and any group, even if they have a different view or opinion to yourself. Finally, Mercury also rules the old mainstream media. And while he's in the flip-floppy, in two-mind signs of Gemini, one may change one's mind on the narrative one has been fed and use one's own noggin to think for oneself. Next up, on the 8th, Venus joins Mercury in Gemini. Now, while she's in this multi-minded, fascinated by everything sign, variety is the spice of life. We can love having stimulating conversation and sharing our wit with our loved ones. Being laughed into bed is an appropriate quote. One can also be extremely flirtatious. Now, Gemini brings out the chameleon in us, and while she's in this sign, she encourages us to share our bonkers ideas and all our thoughts and aspects of our psyche with our loved ones. Now, while she's in this very chinwaggy sign, we can enjoy gracefully using our language, helping us to speak with love and excitement. It's a good time to feed one's heart through one's mind. Perhaps a bit of poetry's on the cards. Now, on the 11th, we have a new moon in Taurus, so we are starting a fabulous fresh cycle. Now, because it's in Taurus, we can really indulge our senses with what feels good and brings us pleasure. It's time to get the old self-care rituals on the go and give yourself either a physical or a metaphysical good scrub-a-dub-dub. Get rid of those old parts of yourself and let the shiny new ones come in. Taurus is also linked with our finances, security and stability. And he doesn't like change all that much. So while the moon is in Taurus, it's prompting us to find new ways of feeling comfortable and grounded in these times of change. Eating lovely food with lovely folk can be a very good way to ground ourselves during this influence, along with appreciating beauty, art, sensuality and nature. And remember, the beauty of a sunset is the same beauty that lies within oneself. So enjoy the delights of being human and feed your soul. On the 13th, Jupiter enters Pisces. Now, I'm very interested in this transit, as Jupiter is a big power planet and anything he touches expands. So when he changes signs, we're due for an upgrade in a new area of our lives. So let's look at Pisces. It's a very sensitive, compassionate, intuitive and creative sign. So when those aspects of ourselves are getting juiced up, we can expect the veil of the unconscious to become thinner. Now, what the blinking heck does that mean? Well, it means we can be more tuned in to how others are feeling or what they are thinking. Yes, we can get a bit telepathic and have psychic powers. Other dimensions are a lot easier for us to access, so it can be a great time for healing not only stuff from this lifetime, but from previous lifetimes. Now, the shadow side of Jupiter can be the tendency to lean towards hedonism and escapism. All sorts of addictions can come to the surface during this time. So it's good to have the realisation that true freedom comes from loving and transforming the parts of ourselves we're trying to flee from. Now, coming back to the high notes of this, Jupiter in Pisces is all about our dreams, and Jupiter is juicing them up now with luck and endless possibilities. So whatever's happening in your life now and whatever the world looks like, dare to dream big.
Thank you, Nora, and your wisdom from the stars. Next up, introducing Mr. Synchronicity himself. Syncs, are you there?
Yeah, I'm there, and reporting for Totally Cosmic. We're just going to be doing the horoscopes for the 1st to the 15th of May for the 12 signs today. So it's me, Mr. Syncs, and just to let you know, Mars is going into Cancer. So for the beginning of May, you're going to have Mars in Cancer, but you're also going to have Venus going to Gemini, Mercury going to Gemini, yeah, and one thing also to note, just briefly, the Sun is going to make a conjunction to Uranus, and the Sun deals with our creative expression, and it actually rules the sign of Leo, and Uranus kind of deals with our freedom and our idealist and individualistic streaks. So there'll probably be definitely people going the wrong way and making a break for it around the beginning of May. Something to definitely take into account. But as I'm going to start with the birthday people of this season, that is Taurus, throughout May. Yeah, I'm going to give you the honours of being first. So Taurus, for you, we have all of these planets in your first house, and it basically means the focus is going to be on you guys. You're going to be up front, centre, live and direct. So I definitely say, get your glad rags on, but you may have to watch for the spending in the month to come, because Venus and Mercury in Taurus, so definitely thinking about luxuries and nice stuff is going to be something. But it's going to be more centered around what you feel and how you're going to be doing it for the next year ahead. So Taurus, will definitely shining the light towards you this particular season of May. So 1st to the 15th, that's Taurus. And then following that, we have Gemini. And Gemini is going to be in the situation of having all of these planets in the 12th house. So not all the planets that I just said, but it's going to be more like Sun, Uranus, Venus and Mercury. And they're going to be residing in Taurus for the meanwhile, like I say. And that means your 12th house is the place of recouping, restoration, getting things back together. So it's isolation. It's a place of solitary. There you go. So Gemini, like I say, you're going to be next up. It's going to be your birthday season coming. But until then, it's probably best for you to fall back and just kind of get things in store for your birthday season, which is coming ahead. So meditating, actually doing small bits of work and service, and also, maybe even just a prayer, even. Like all of these things definitely help. I think after you guys, we're going to say Cancer. Cancer, for you, it's an 11th house situation. So I feel like it's going to be a great month in terms of networking, friendships, some of your higher ideals being fulfilled. I mean, Taurus season starts from the late end of April. So throughout the first couple of weeks of May, Cancer, it's definitely going to be a time for you to network and spreading your wings and looking at some of those things that you've already had your hopes set on. And just your networks and maybe investing in what may be, going to get your dreams accomplished in the long term. So I definitely feel like that's something for you, Cancer. Leo, you, obviously, the sunshine is the ruler of Leo. So the moon ruler of Cancer, sunshine, Leo. So you are a big player, and this month there's 4 planets of Sun, Venus, Mercury, and Uranus, off the top of my head, are going to be in your 10th house, especially if you're a Leo rising, that is. But yeah, everyone that's a Leo, you're going to be on front and center stage in terms of in your local community, in your career, in your vocation, on that stage. So you may have to deal with authority and things like that this month, Leo. So I would say watch your P's and Q's, but also look at what you're trying to achieve long term. That's something to say there. Virgo, I will definitely have to say for Virgo, interesting month. So May from the 1st to the 15th for Virgos is going to be a time where the Sun in Taurus is going to be shining light in your 9th house, especially Virgo rising birth time. It's very precise about your details. But philosophies, you may be like looking at what you really believe in these days, and long distance travel and expansion and luck, also the 9th house, Sagittarius. So yeah, you could get lucky this month. I'd say that's something that you got to think about, Virgo. Libra. What can we say? Sign of partnership. Yeah, well, this one will be interesting for you. Taurus is your 8th house. So if you're a Libra rising or Libra sun, Libra moon, you're going to find a situation where, 8th house, I literally covered up the situation at the front. No, it joins together partnerships with your intimates. So maybe your taxes, your finances, your debts, and crises, things you're just going to have to look at or may not want to look at. Libra, this is the time to maybe start looking at them and get that sorted out this month. Scorpio. So what I've got to say to you guys is that Taurus is your opposite sign. So with this being the case, it's not necessarily about you, but you are kind of up front and center in terms of partnerships and relationships, marriages, businesses. All of those things are part of the 7th house and your partner, which is Taurus. So all of the light and the sunshine is in Taurus, Mercury, Venus, the Sun, and Uranus long term. And this really means that the focus is going to be on those things that you're wanting to put into business that are going to be public domain. So that's you, Scorpio, yeah? So you know how to handle that. After Scorpio, we got Sagittarius. Yeah, tasty for Sagittarius. Because I find that all of these planets are going to be in your 6th house. And your 6th house, that's the house of work, routines, habits, and health. Yeah? So with health, routines, habits, health, that kind of thing, as I was saying, it's going to be much for on maybe getting a new job. So there might be money coming up for Sagittarius possibly, but you definitely have to make sure that you are taking care of yourself and maybe your diets. So that is something to not go overboard on. Taurus likes the luxurious tastes. So yeah, following Sagittarius, we have Capricorn. And the reason why I'm saying it like that, Capricorn, loud and proud, is Taurus is the 5th sign away from your sign, Capricorn. And the 5th sign means fun, love, romance, luck, gambling, all of these kind of things where you may get a little bit lucky. Because luck is also Sagittarius and Leo, 5th and 9th. I feel that Capricorn as well as Virgo are going to have a good month. But next month, do watch out. Things will be in the 6th house, Capricorn. I like to warn you in advance. So you guys are like that. Aquarius. I got to say, for you guys now, the 4th house is more family orientated and home and roots. Some of you may be a little bit homesick if you are a bit far away from home, or also thinking about things that may have been under the surface, that have been dormant for a very long time, part of your deep psychology, Aquarius risings. And there's definitely going to be some light shone in that area. So the time of the beginning of May, understand that if you're feeling a little bit more emotional than you normally would, Aquarius, we'll understand it. And Pisces, Pisces, you're not last but least this time, because it started with the birthday month. So Pisces, you guys, third house situation, communication, short distance journeys, brothers and sisters, aunties and uncles, a lot of emails, maybe you're on the internet. Yeah, you could even gain popularity out there on the internet with Uranus in the third house. Going to be quite big things for Pisces, basically in terms of communication. So your phone might be going, or check your inboxes, important things maybe happening for you Pisces. And last but never least, Aries. Yeah, it was your month, technically last month, starting March and through April. So this month is actually the season where you're going to be dealing with finances, money, and personal values, even self-esteem, things that you find valuable. Why? Because Taurus is the second place, basically just after Aries, and the second deals with the things that you find valuable. So the first is yourself, Aries, the second is the things that you have. So yeah, watch your bank account, because I can imagine you may go a little bit wild where that's concerned. Just as the Taurus will spending the money on themselves, Aries will be spending that money on things that they like. So yeah, I'd say that's going to wrap that up. People are going to be standing out for Totally Cosmic, and I'm just so great to be representing in such a great area of the sun out. We'll be back for another transmission soon. Signing over to Cynthia. Peace.
Thank you, Mr. Sinks. A bright star there. Well, thank you, Sinks, and thank you for watching. I'm sure you're all packed to the brim with astro tips and tricks. Until next time, stay cosmic. Thanks for watching.
Until next time,
Watch this space.